In this video, I want to talk about emergency vehicles. If they're on the side of the road stopped, what you should do. So let's look at what the Learn to Drive Smart book says. It says stop vehicles with flashing lights. Drivers must slow down and leave plenty of room when passing stopped vehicles displaying flashing lights to make highway safer for law enforcement, emergency personnel, and other roadside workers. This rule applies to all vehicles authorized to display flashing yellow, red, white, or blue lights, including those used by fire departments, law enforcement, commercial vehicle inspectors, conservation officers, paramedics, tow truck operators, highway maintenance workers, utility workers, land surveyors, animal control workers, and garbage collectors. So all of those are considered vehicles that we need to be paying attention to. So, and what does this say? It says slow down and move over law, right? For vehicles stopped with flashing lights, maximum it's 70 kilometers an hour on the highway, and it's 40 kilometers an hour in the city. So we're coming up on this stretch of the highway to merge, and so we're coming in here and we're seeing, hey, there's a tow truck. So right away, we should slow down to at least 70 kilometers an hour. And I'm looking to my left side mirror as well as shoulder checking to the left to see if it's clear. Obviously I've got my signal on, and I'm gonna move over and give this tow truck operator more room as they're dealing with this vehicle here. So this is something that you can get a ticket for, and also it's very dangerous, right? Those people have to change a tire or like tow a vehicle and get their gear all in place. It doesn't make sense for people to just whip past them at full speed in the lane right beside them. So it's called a slow down and move over law, because it's literally what you need to do. You need to slow down and move over if it's safe, right? That's really important too, right? So just because you see something there, it doesn't mean that, okay, I should go over, right? You should signal, mirror, check if it's safe, move over. If there's a whole bunch of cars here and it's not safe for you to move over, then obviously we don't want to cause a collision just because we're trying to give these people more room. The second part of that is I need to slow down. So if there is not possibility of me moving over as well as slowing down, then I should at the very least slow down as I pass by, giving them a little bit more of a safety cushion, if you will. We were on a residential road once, and it was a very narrow road, and there was an officer that had pulled a vehicle over. And so usually when officers have pulled a vehicle over, they stagger their vehicle a bit, so they're sticking out a bit more into the road, so that if they're talking with this driver, their own vehicle is to some extent protecting them. So it was already a narrow scenario. And then we had a garbage truck approaching from afar. And by the time I had a chance to tell the student, hey, we should yield to this scenario, we were already on the oncoming traffic side and trying to pass this officer while the garbage truck is coming towards us. And so what ended up happening was the officer pretty much just left that driver, got in their vehicle and put their sirens on and pulled us over. And then they came up to the driver's window and they're like, do you want to tell them what they did wrong, or should I? I was like, well, while you're here, I was just about to explain, but since you're here, you might as well. And what the officer ended up saying was, look, you need to drive for everything within a 2-block radius around you, right? So when you look in this book here, what does it say? It says, see, think, and do, right? So you can't just be reacting to scenarios. You need to watch for those vehicles with the flashing lights on the side of the road, and then you need to know the rules, right? So you need to know, okay, right now is not a good time. Yes, I want to continue. We're not going to just sit and park our car behind a vehicle that is being dealt with by the police. But if there is oncoming traffic, we don't want to cut in front of them and then proceed. And then do, right? So space margin and speed control. Slow down and leave space when passing vehicles with flashing lights on the side of the roads. Change lanes to provide safe space margins if it is safe to do so. In that case, the student got the first part of that equation, right? They were trying to move over and give this emergency vehicle room to do their thing, but it was not safe to do it at that moment. So it was a good learning experience for that student. And I'm sure the next time they see flashing lights, they're gonna think twice about, is it a good time for me to pass that vehicle? So I hope you learned something from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.